Hey there, it's me, Dax, again, back with another of our 30 dates with Dax. Every day for 30 days, I'm answering your questions, the most pressing, challenging, kind of intriguing, anything in kind of question that you want to ask, right? Kind of, what is it that you want to know about becoming free of your challenges? What is it that you want to know about becoming a better coach, running a better coaching business, overcoming some of your limiting factors? What is it that you want to help with? Please, please, please ask, and I promise I will do my absolute best to answer in as much detail as I can without any of that kind of sneaky give you part of the thing and tell you that I'll tell you the rest when you join up for my super duper program that's only kind of $15 billion. In all seriousness, this is a great opportunity for you to really ask about the things that hold you back. So today I've got one from Camilla Dempster. Camilla says, how do you find a good mentor? The ones I look up to the most don't tend to have the time, and then others which I believe are within my reach don't seem to answer my emails. And basically I'm looking at how to sieve the less than best to find the best and begin the process, right? how to basically sieve the less than the best and find the best to begin the process of going under someone's wing and mentoring. Okay, right. So look, I think there's a couple of different elements to that, and very first and foremost, let's just kind of point out the elephant in the room. I coach and I mentor coaches, right? So I'm obviously going to have an element of a bias to this, right? But honest, I'm not going to point to myself and say, hey, this is the guy that you need to come and work with. Let me see if I can do my best to give you a really honest answer to this. The first part of this is to really understand the difference between a coach and a mentor so that you really understand what it is that you're looking for. See, a lot of people look for coaches. They say they're going to hire a coach, and they get frustrated that the coach doesn't tell them what to do. Well, actually, it's not a coach's job to tell you what to do. The flip side is that they'll hire a mentor and get pissed off that the mentor isn't completely personalizing the process and telling it, kind of making it kind of fit their business. Now, understand, there's a big distinction between a coach and a mentor. A coach is really about your journey. The coach is actually trying to figure out the right way for you to go on your journey and figure out why you want to go there and what's going to most inspire you. That is coaching. So coaching is you centric. When you take on a mentor, basically what you're saying is, hey, Mr. Mentor, Miss Mentor, what you've done is really awesome. Would you mind sharing your map with me on how you did it? Now that's brilliant, right? If somebody's got a business you admire and aspire to, and you say, well, that's exactly what I want, hardly any difference to that, that's what I want, then mentoring is brilliant, because they're going to basically give you the map and they say, start walking. Right, and then eventually, though, you're going to say, "Yeah, but that's not what I want to do," and the mentor is basically going to, at some point, in some way, shape, or form, even if it's kind of benignly in many respects, but they're going to slap you upside the head and they're going to say, "Shut up, get on with it, and this is how you do it. If you're serious about this shit, this is the way you do it, because this is the way I did it." They're not being mean. They're not being horrible. It's because actually that's exactly what you've come to them for. You've said, "Can I borrow your map and go where you've gone to and get some of the experiences that you've gotten," right? So that's just a really important one. Understand the distinction between a coach and a mentor. I do mostly coaching. In some areas, I do mentorship, right? Kind of as in I lay down specific blueprints for certain things. But it's really important to know what it is that you want. A lot of people who call themselves coaches are actually not coaches. This isn't me having a dig at anyone, but they say, I kind of join my coaching program. And the coaching program is actually a mentorship program, right? Be very, very clear about what you're looking for. So that's thing number one, right? It's a distinction thing, but get that distinction correct, because unless you do, you're always going to be a bit out of alignment with your coach or with your mentor. I've certainly had people work with me who have left my programs disappointed because they didn't get everything that they wanted to get, because they were hoping to get an absolute blueprint of, I want you to tell me this, and this. But then at every turn, when they were supposed to be applying that, when I was giving them exactly what they wanted, they'd say, "Oh yeah, but I don't want to do it that way, and I want to do something else, and I want to do something else." So in other words, they didn't really want mentorship; they wanted coaching, or at other times they didn't really want coaching; they wanted mentorship. Be very, very clear about what you're looking for, and be very open with your coach or your mentor about, is that what you do? Is that how it's going to work? Right? Ask all the right questions. That's thing number one. Thing number two, in choosing either a good coach or mentor, is to find out if they're getting the results that their programs claim to get for you, right? And by results, I don't just mean the specifics. I mean, sometimes it's specifics. Obviously, you don't want to learn how to build a six-figure business from a person who's never built a six-figure business other than teaching coaches how to build a six-figure business, right? Think about that. There's a lot of that going on at the moment where people that have never, when they tried to build a coaching business to the mainstream general public, they couldn't do it. But as soon as they got into the I'll teach you how to make money from coaching business, obviously that's an attractive niche to get into, and lots of coaches come to them. And yes, eventually they did get their six figures, but they didn't ever get it with the public. Okay, so think about that. Think about, have they ever accomplished this before they started teaching it to other people? Did they ever accomplish it for themselves? I think that's a really important measure. And so that I'm using money there, but whatever it is that they happen to be kind of mentoring you around, particularly mentorship, far more so than coaching, right? Because coaching is about you. I can ask you a lot of questions. You know, I work with millionaires, billionaires, kind of CEOs, heads of state, you know, kind of all that kind of thing. And I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a head of state, right? I'm not even a millionaire at the moment. I make very high multiple six at the moment, but I'm not a millionaire in my own right. So, and yet I coach all those people. So how is that possible? Because in coaching, I'm asking the questions about their growth and about the direction I want to go. If they came to me for mentorship, and I haven't achieved £1 million for myself yet, then I can't teach a seven figure mentorship program, right? If I've never made six figures for myself, kind of being a coach, I can't really teach a six-figure coaching program to other people. The math doesn't add up. So check for that. Like, have they ever had the results? And particularly for me in mentorship, outside of teaching other professionals, right? Did they ever get the results for themselves? If you're going to be teaching other people how to make six figures from coaching, cool. But did you ever make six figures from coaching before you started teaching coaches how to make six figures from coaching? Make sense? Ask those questions. That's not the only results I'm interested in, though. I'm interested in, are they getting the experiential result for themselves? In other words, is the mentor that you're looking at, is the coach that you're looking at, living the life they're claiming to be able to help you to live, right? So it's not just the cash in the back pocket and stuff, but is this person, are they taking vacations? If they talk about the importance of their health, do they do things for their health? If they're talking about the importance of relationships, are they doing things for their relationships? One of the things from or if you look at any of the coaching that I do, it really revolves around this core theme: fun, freedom, fulfillment, and financial success. Right? These 4 Fs, as we call it in the Guru Project. Right? So, does the person seem to have a lot of fun in their life? Right? We're asking me now, I guess, right? Because that's my promise. It may not be someone else's. But do they seem to have a lot of fun? Right? Well, if you go on my personal wall, you see that I go to a lot of amazing places. I take a lot of time out from, I don't spend all day. I'm not a guy who's become a multiple six-figure earner, but the only way I do it is by sitting at my computer all day studying Facebook ads and trying to generate more traffic and doing strategy calls. You'll see from any of the stuff that I do that I'm out in the world, right? I'm having fun with my success because I had this story that one day when I make it, I will. That was my thing. One day when I make it, I will. You've got that as well, I'm sure, right? One day when I make it, I will. One day when I make it, I will. One day when I make it, I will. My aim was always to keep the promises about what I would do when I made it. So my question to you is that as you're looking to my invitation to you is, as you're looking to someone who might become a mentor, are they keeping their promises about one day when they make it? Or do they spend all day, every day on Facebook? I spend a lot of time on Facebook, but you also see that I really balance my life out with a lot of really amazing trips and adventures. And, I've just come back from Everest and all that kind of thing, right? Are they balancing that out? Are they keeping their promises about one day when I make it, I will? Or are you in the process now of emulating and being mentored or coached by a person who never steps out from behind the computer? Yeah, they're showing you the proof of their PayPal receipts and they're saying, yeah, I made 6 figures last month alone, which is awesome, which is brilliant. But are they actually living the kind of life that you want to live? Because Mentorship, when you only look at one set of results, is very skewed. Shit, they're making a ton of money. Wow, I really want to learn from this person. Hold on. Are they making a ton of money, but are they really happy with their life? Are they experiencing more fun? For me, right, kind of freedom. I have a lot of freedom. I do exactly what I want to do with exactly who I want to do it, where I want to do it. I go, run retreats all over the world. I'm just, people that come on my programs will tell you I'm a complete idiot, right? I mess around. I have a lot of fun. I joke around a lot, but I have a really deep side to me. But I built all of my things to have the freedom to do what I want, where I want, when I want, with who I want. So I'm living a very free lifestyle. In order to have that freedom, at the moment, I've sacrificed a little bit of my personal income because I don't want to be sat at this thing all day long, every day, watching Facebook stats. That's not what I want for myself. Fulfillment, kind of, am I fulfilled? Absolutely, because I get to do what I want, when I want, with who I want, right? So I've built that kind of a life for myself. Can you see what I'm getting at here? Has your coach, has your mentor displayed not just the micro result, the money that you want to kind of earn next year, and you go, oh well, because I want to make six figures a year, this guy is making multiple six, and yeah, I'm going to choose this person as my mentor. Are they using the multiple six figures per year to build the kind of life for themselves that you would like to build for yourself? If not, maybe not a good fit. Right? I'm not saying it's not. We each prioritize the different things in our life, but this is a question that's been directed to me, like, how do I choose? So I'm answering as honestly as I can about what's important to me when I select my mentors, and it's still important to me to this day, right? So I spend a lot of money on between mentors and coaches, and I'm always looking not just at the micro result, but the macro. Are they living the kind of life that I would like to? Not each individual quality, but in other words, if they promise themselves that when I make my money, I will do these things, are they doing that? They may not be things that I want to do for myself, but I can see that actually, no, it's not all just about money for them. They're actually using the money to build themselves a beautiful life. That's what I try and focus on doing for myself, right? So that's another important aspect. The next important aspect is to really, it really comes down to this. Is your coach making their money the way you want to make yours, or your mentor making their money the way you want to make yours? And I don't mean in the specifics, like you might be a health coach and they might be a relationship coach, or you might be in business coaching. I'm not saying that. What I mean is, does any of the stuff that your coach does leave a bad taste in your mouth? Right, the idea that kind of, oh crap, they're fair dues, man. They've told me, you've got to bite the bullet and you've got to do these things in order to make those kind of sales, or you've got to say this kind of stuff in your copy in order to do this. Are they fully resonant with you in the way they show up in the world, or are they turning you off? Even if they're getting the kind of result that you want to get, are they getting it in the way that you would feel good and kind of in integrity with getting, or does some of the ways in which they do it knock you out of alignment? Okay, that's really important as well, because here's the reality: you will only continue. Basically, you only create the transformations that you want to get in your life, and that includes financial transformations, business transformations, and so on. If you continue to do the thing that caused the transformation, you'll only continue to do the thing if you actually really enjoy it and you're passionate and purposeful and you feel powerful when you do it. If something feels a bit yucky, if it feels kind of disempowering, if it feels misaligned, if it feels like it's stretching your integrity, eventually, maybe not today, but eventually you'll stop taking action on it. If you stop taking action on it, you won't get the result. If you don't get the result, you'll blame the mentor or the coach, right? My take on this, and this is a personal bias, but it extends across everywhere, because it extends to the people that coach me as well as the people I coach, is that it's no one's fault, but it's your responsibility, right? So it's no one's fault what happens in a coaching or mentorship relationship. It really isn't. I do not take ownership of any of my clients' results, including their successes, because they did it. It's their responsibility to ask me for the right help. It's my responsibility to spot where things are going wrong for them and create invitations and say, hey, have you kind of thought about this, and are you ready to take action on that? But if they decline the invitation, say, yeah, I'm not doing it just yet, or I don't want to do that one, then that's fine. That's their choice. Does that make sense? So it's your responsibility to choose a coach. It's your responsibility to ask ask the tough questions. Now, one of kind of my pet peeves, and I don't get frustrated very often by the industry, but it's not even so much frustrated. I get a little bit sad and a bit confused, I guess, because I can see people joining masterminds and joining groups of people that I know they're not fully resonant with. They were showing up in a certain way before they joined the group, and now they're swearing all over the place, and now they've. It's not about swearing, by the way. I don't give a shit whether you swear or not, right? But they're kind of they've changed who they are because that's how the mentor does things, or that's how the coach is advising them to do things, versus kind of looking, spending a bit more time shopping around and saying, who is the best coach for me? Who is the right fit for me? Like, I spend a lot of money on coaches and mentors, and I promise you I don't take mentorship or coaching lightly, where either giving it or being on the receiving end of it. I do a lot of research into it, because essentially whenever you're looking for a coach or a mentor, what you're saying is, this is a person who is actually going to guide and shape a huge and important chunk of my life for the foreseeable future, or as long as this program lasts. How do I feel about that person being my guide? And check in with yourself. Is there anything here that's non-resonant with me, and is it so non-resonant that maybe it puts me out of integrity, or is it just non-resonant because I'm a little bit scared of some of the things, but I'm open to the challenge? There's a big distinction, big difference. Anyway, I've rambled for a bit there, but I hope you get the picture, right? I think there's a lot more to choosing a mentor than most people, and I'm often surprised, stunned, a little bit disappointed, if I'm honest, at the choices that some people make for their mentor, joining groups or joining masterminds or taking on approaches or mentors or coaches that are clearly not a good fit for them, and because they've done it on a single criteria, right? Kind of, this person seems to be making a lot of money, or this person seems to be getting a lot of clicks or likes on their Facebook ads, or this person seems to be getting a lot of kind of shares on their wall comments, or whatever it happens to be, right? Think about it from a bigger perspective and ask yourself, you're a professional coach, so ask yourself the same kind of questions that you'd ask a client who was thinking about taking on a coach who wasn't you, right? So, go into it with a coach's brain yourself. And when you go into it with a coach's brain, you'll see who is going to be a good fit and who isn't. So I hope that's served you. I hope you don't think that I biased it too much with me being a coach and mentor myself. I tried to answer it as honestly as possible. Don't expect you to agree. If you've got anything to add to that, or anything you want to share about that, or even any challenges you want to make around anything I said, please go ahead and do it. I'm not looking for agreement. I'm looking for conversation. I'm looking for dialogue. Okay, so if you've got any questions, any points, any feedback, any ahas, light bulbs, or anything like that, please go ahead and share. Till next time, take care.